Electro Resurrection. Chev Chelios wakes up strapped to an operating table in a secret underground military biotech lab in Tokyo. A team of cybernetic surgeons is observing his vitals. He's been implanted with a prototype biobattery heart that requires constant electrical input or he'll shut down permanently. Chev violently regains consciousness mid-operation, rips out the IVs, and electrocutes one of the surgeons using a nearby defibrillator paddle. Security rushes in, but Chev fights his way out, juicing himself up with any current he can find. The lab turns out to be underneath a flashy tech expo. Chev stumbles out into the chaos of the convention floor, confused, half-dressed, and electrified. He improvises by grabbing a taser from a security guard to keep himself juiced. Surveillance drones track him as he hijacks a hoverbike and rides off, sending sparks flying through the neon-lit Tokyo streets. As Chev navigates the city, his new heart begins glitching. At random intervals, his vision warps into digital static, and he hears voices in his head, one of which seems to be an AI installed in the core, calling itself Surge. It gives him commands like a video game narrator, making him question whether he's being controlled or hallucinating. Chev finds an old burner phone and calls Doc Miles, who tells him the truth. You've got 12 hours before that battery fries your brain or turns you into an EMP. The only person who can fix it is the man who designed the heart, Dr. Shinji Okabe, now missing. Chev must track him down before time runs out. As Chev tries to get information on Shinji's whereabouts, he is lured into a neon bathhouse owned by the Yakuza who want the tech inside him. A hyper-violent, stylized fight breaks out. Chev uses electric foot massagers, live wires, and a karaoke mic to shock himself mid-brawl. He narrowly escapes, jumping out a third-floor window and landing on a power line. Chev tracks down Doc Miles, who's now living off-grid with a metal arm, partial facial burns, and a goat named Tesla. Miles reluctantly gives Chev a temporary surge stabilizer, a wrist-mounted capacitor that gives him short boosts, and reveals Shinji is working in the black market bionics trade in Tokyo's underbelly. Chev enters Tokyo's illegal cyber fighting ring, where combatants use tech implants and energy boosts to fight. Chev has to win a fight to get audience with the ringmaster, who may know where Shinji is. He battles a towering cyborg with built-in cattle prods, using shockwaves and brute force to win. Chev finally finds Shinji in a secret lab, but it's immediately raided by international mercenaries working for a corporate military firm who want the tech. A massive shootout erupts. Chev gets clipped by a stun grenade and blacks out as Shinji is taken. Chev wakes up in an apartment, hacked back to consciousness by Eve, Amy Smart, who's now a cyber hacker anarchist with a punk aesthetic. She gives him a lithium injection via a spinal port to keep him stable. They reconnect, argue, and ultimately have another wild, public, and shocking encounter, literally recharging Chev's core. Following a data trail, Chev hops a bullet train to Hong Kong, where Shinji's captors are headed. Halfway there, agents ambush him with magnetic pulse grenades. Chev rips through the train in a close-quarters battle, eventually jumping off at 200 miles per hour and landing in a rice paddy, alive but smoldering. Desperate for a recharge, Chev scales a skyscraper and taps into a rooftop satellite array, overloading himself with microwave energy. He becomes temporarily overcharged, moving faster, hitting harder. In this state, he fights a squad of cyber ninjas in an electric storm while glitching between reality and hallucination. Now severely overclocked, Chev begins seeing people as 8-bit enemies and HUD readouts over his eyes. He can't tell what's real. This hyper-stylized segment is shot like a third-person shooter. The AI voice surge in his head gets louder, becoming more controlling. Chev begins questioning if he's even human anymore. Chev returns to Doc Miles to demand another stabilizer, only to discover Miles sold his coordinates to the mercenary group for a fat payday. Furious, Chev overcharges Miles' bionic arm and blows it apart, vowing to survive with or without anyone's help. Chev learns Shinji is being held aboard a flying research vessel over Macau. He skydives onto the craft using a stolen lightning rod suit to channel a bolt of lightning into his core midair. The shock lets him crash through the deck and enter full-on rampage mode. Shinji reveals a plan to remove Chev's unstable battery and replace it with a prototype Infinity Core, but means Chev has to go completely uncharged for 30 minutes during the surgery. Any movement, emotion, or shock could kill him. They begin the procedure. Just as Shinji starts the operation, the ship is attacked by a rogue PMC faction. Chev has to hold off soldiers while gradually losing his power. He fights with knives, fists, and anything he can throw, each movement bringing him closer to death. Chev finally collapses, flatlines. Everything fades to black. In this moment, we enter his subconscious, a dreamscape where he confronts digital clones of old enemies. Verona, Carlito, and even a mirrored version of himself. It's a symbolic battle between humanity and machine. In this dream realm, Chev refuses to die. He overloads the system from the inside, forcing his neural pathways to reboot. This creates a spontaneous bioelectrical surge that reignites the prototype core, just as Shinji finishes the final connection. Chev wakes up glowing with contained blue energy. He's faster, stronger, and completely self-sustaining. He leaps into a final brawl aboard the vessel, literally punching enemies through walls, melting bullets midair, and walking through a firestorm with no injury. Back on land, Chev contacts Eve and tells her he's going off-grid. Governments, corporations, and militaries are all hunting him now. He gives the AI Surge one final command: kill the signal. As satellites go dark across the globe, Chev walks into the distance. The screen cuts to black. Mid-credits scene, an encrypted file opens on a hacker's laptop. A flashing title reads, Chelios Protocol, initiated,